Good morning and welcome to Beyond the SEAF Model. I'm Jack Kosar. This is effective for the week of February 24th, 2025. Let's get started. SEAF signals for this week. We have financials returning after a week hiatus, technology, and communication services. I think the highlight here is very much, we are very much in flux on the trading week. Tactical month is really driving our top three signals. As you know, we can see financials here with ones for the tactical month and strategic quarter. Similar thing for communication services, 2 and 2 here with a little bit of a reversal on the trading week. And overall, and technology, relatively even across the board. Not super high scores here, but just a little bit in transition. Obviously, Friday was quite a bit of a down day, throwing things a little bit for a loop. Seeing continued weakness in consumer discretionary and healthcare, and energy showing a little bit of life here in the trading week one. We'll hit that in a second in our heat map. Again, overall, this trading week is really throwing everything into a little bit, not a loop, but really kind of showing that strategic decision point that we talked about a couple weeks ago is still looming, and we're hoping to find more of a decision on which way the direction this market is going as per Friday. And then this morning, we are down both days. We'll see what the rest of Monday has to do for us. But yeah, going into our heat map, this is kind of what I was talking about. We're seeing a little bit of weakness here. Overall, flows were extremely light last week. We did break our streak of 24 consecutive days without a 1% move in either direction. We had a 1.3% move down on Friday, which is not included in this data, but just to highlight what the flows were doing. Data is through the 20th. Friday was the 21st of February. On the week, we were down 0.903, really driven mostly by that down move on Friday. Otherwise, it'd been really light. Even the flows on the trading week with Friday, consumer discretionary down minus 0.26% on the week, and energy up 0.24%. So even with the big down day, overall, we were not seeing a lot of movement in the flows generally. Now, everything was down on Friday, but we're seeing a little bit of weakness here, some light colors, a lot of light colors overall in the entire map. That's, apprehension, right? We're not seeing any real strong flows. Starting to see these financials flake off a little bit. And again, this energy was strong, but, we were looking for that 0.4% increase to show a real significant move, and we only got 0.24. Again, we're going to have to see what happens this week. Again, down today, down Friday, data's through Thursday. So just to note, in general, when we're looking at these tables on Monday, really relevant with having a really big down day on Friday, not capturing in the data overall. It'll just be something to keep an eye on. Into our rainbow charts. Consumer discretionary coming off that high in late November, early December, really starting to trend downward. We just down into a void, has really kind of highlighted by this relative performance versus SPY move and this downward trend after having a nice run up through July through December. Healthcare. Similar thing with healthcare. Healthcare's middling down. We've tried to get up into favor a couple times, saw a little bit slight outperformance. A little bit of a turn here on healthcare, going from 11 to 10 on the trading week. But a little bit of life in terms of a turning up in healthcare. But we've seen this rodeo before. So healthcare being a little bit more defensive. If this trend of two consecutive, one down day on Friday and then potential down day for today on Monday. Keeping an eye on healthcare, but toward the bottom, it is the worst ranked SEAF sector. So we'll keep an eye on this space, but overall, healthcare continues to be a dog in this space. Looking at communication services still looks relatively strong. Really nice, strong uptrend in this relative outperformance. Took a little bit of hit on favored, but we're still in, a little off its peak, but, still in the upper favored territory. Would look for communication services to rebound. We had an 8 on the trading week, but this was close to a 0 move in terms of its actual percentage change. Communication services still looking relatively strong. We'll see how it reacts to the next couple of days. days next week when we get all the data in. But overall, looking for some strength in communication services. Similar for technology, again, this does not include Friday or Monday. There was a little bit of a kind of a down day on tech on Friday, but overall, tech looking relatively strong. With that being said, though, tech has been in a sideways bubble going back the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, almost 7 months now. So, really, technology has been in this box and has been for a while. We've seen a lot of volatility in technology. Technology is a SEAF signal for this week, but as we're looking at this has been kind of a heart attack machine here. So keep an eye on technology. Again, SEAF signal for this week. Flows were relatively strong across the board, 3, 4, and 3. But we'll see what we look like next week. Going into energy showed a little bit of life. 11s on the technical month and strategic quarter, which is why we have this big, broad downtrend in the relative outperformance versus SPY. But energy did peak up into neutral on a relatively strong trading week. We'll keep an eye on this space. We would need to string together a couple of good trading weeks for this thing to really propel itself up into favored. And again, we've attempted to touch favored a couple of times here. We get these little bouts of relative outperformance, but really are still in this broader downtrend. So we would need a lot of consistent inflows of assets into XLE for this thing to really start to take off. After it's been really down since April of last year. Last but not least, financials. Our top SEAF trade for this week, up in this upper favored, had this nice run up of relative outperformance versus SPY. Financial's been relatively strong. We've had these little bit of dips into neutral. We had a little bit of a dip here last week, but kind of coming back up into that upper favored. Financials look strong. On the trading week, it was 5th with 0.03, but overall, like I said, flows have been relatively weak. It seems that investors are understanding that we're at a tactical decision point here. Is the market going to race up higher from here, or are we going to have a little bit of a correction? And we've definitely seen in terms of flows that managers haven't been putting a lot of strength into one side or the other. They don't want to get caught off sides here. So, 0.03 on the trading week for financials, not a strong number, but it was 5th overall for the trading week. And we have that strength of the tactical month and the strategic quarter on financials. That is all I have for this week. I look forward to breaking down the SEAF model with you all next week, and thank you.